ulti.TV. 22 puts it up line to 11 on the second chance. That's part of Matson. The Swedes get a big break. Japanese with a call now. Number 8 insisting that number 11 called them in earlier, even though his teammates called it out. Must be coming back. Not sure the Japanese are going to concede this one. A big break. It's a massive break in this weather. And they've reached a decision. Maybe not the most amicable for all involved, but certainly not for the Swedes. Japanese probably a bit happier with this. But 22 again with the disc. That's 2 shots to the end zone. 1 got away and a foul called, gave it back to the Swedes. 1 was a goal and a foul called, nullified and gave it back to the Swedes. Now we're back in play. Number 1 with the disc for the Swedes. He puts a backhand, floats one. I think the Swedes like their height matchups against the Japanese. This one's not going to be in the end zone. And the Japanese, I thought they had a hand on it, but number 4 out of nowhere got it. Popped it into the corner. 17 with the goal. It's Anders Dahlberg. The Swedes with 4, Japanese 2. A huge break early in the game with these conditions. Sweden now pulling downwind. First upwind look for Japan. Already a 2-point lead. It hits the ground and rolls out. Japanese handler will be able to walk it up to the front line. And Tanaka has it tapped into play. Moves it over to Kichikawa. Fakes the hammer. Fakes the backhand. Contentious times here for the Japanese. This is a quarterfinal. Not sure if that was mentioned in the early going of this game. This is elimination. The Japanese have been perfect in every division so far, winning a huge game against Canada yesterday in a battle of the only 2, there were 3 unbeatens at the time, 4 even. Australia and US squared off as unbeaten. Japan, Canada squared off as unbeaten in this open division. And the Japanese won a big one against Canada yesterday in a feisty game that I'm sure you've watched with us on ulti.TV by now. And now this one, where the Japanese were probably sure of a semifinal matchup against Australia. They just had to get through Sweden. But when the weather turns like this, it really does level the playing fields. And in a game that's thus far had a lot of hucking, it favors the Swedes' receiving core a little better. They're certainly a taller group. And we'll see if that, is the tail of the tape in the end of this. Just the ulti.TV crew anticipating a wet day today. Have spent the whole morning weatherproofing the best of our abilities. Tanaka now moves it to Kichikawa. Tanaka moves it up the sideline. Now he's got 17 on the sideline. A little bit of contact on the catch there. 17 back to Kichikawa. Tanaka, 29 for Japan. Moves it to Kurono. Kurono fakes flick. Looks to dump. Calls foul. Sasakawa. Tanaka. Kichikawa. Japan moving it side to side, dumping and swinging. Great backhand in between the Swedish cup there. Who had another one through the cup. Beauty. Get to the far side. Matsuno. Look to put it up line in front of Kichikawa, but holds off. Now dumps to Kichikawa, to Tanaka. Sasakawa with the disc. Fakes the flick. Backhand to Tanaka again. Back to Sasakawa. He has a look at the backhand, and there's a bit of a foul on the play. Japanese very clinical on this point so far. Just playing catch, a lot of short passes. They need this point to try and get their break back, and almost a hand there by the Swedish defender. Number 12 for Japan now with the disc. Kichikawa. Disc tapped in. Matsuno can't get the undercut there. Tanaka's got it. Kichikawa with a man running into him. The help defense now flicks it over to Tanaka. Sasakawa sends it to Kurono on the close sideline, 2 meters out of the end zone. Faking flick, tries for break, and a foul called. Big point for Japan, as mentioned a few times now. Fakes flick, looks for the break, not gonna get it, puts one up. Few guys there, gets over, not sure if that was the intended receiver or not, but it's Kamimura who comes down with a massive goal for Japan. Puts them within one, and now with the wind at their back, they'll play D, looking to break back. 4-3. Paul hits the ground and rolls out of bounds. Swedish handler, number 3, walks into the line. Lucas Josephson. Oh, first pass turn. This is surely going to be the break that Japan wanted after giving one up early. Flips it over top, number 3 for Japan, able to keep his toes. That's a goal. Takahashi, Japan back to level. If there was doubt early, it seems to be settled now. And 29 puts a pull up for Japan. Very good pull in these conditions. Sweden picks up the disc. Number 9 now for Sweden. Puts a big one up. He's got number 8 there. Gets over top of the Japanese defense, but also over top of Sebastian Sporong, one of Sweden's top flight receivers there. Takahashi walks the disc up to the line for Japan. And Sweden with a 1-3-2-1 zone on. A beautiful hammer into that wind from Kichikawa. Now moved on, Sasakawa with the disc. Fakes flick, pop pass. The Japanese not afraid to put out some fancy throws in this wind. They've got some very refined throwing ability. Number 12 now, Kichikawa. Looking for the backhand. Gets the flick. 17 in the middle of the cup. Back to Takahashi. Now to Kichikawa with the disc. As mentioned, this wind is blowing away in Sakai. Expecting the skies to open at some stage today. The later the better as far as the TV crew is concerned, as the on-field crew. Kichikawa now moves it on to Takahashi. Foul on the play, going back to Takahashi. Now Kichikawa with the disc. Dumped back. 19 for Japan. Back to Kichikawa. Kichikawa, disc is back in play. Uh-oh, it's floaty. It's all over the place. The Swedes get the benefit of the doubt as it hits the ground. Sweden disc now. Swedish handler looking for his man. 17 fills in. That's Dahlberg now with the disc. Moves it to the far side. Beautiful pass into space. Baltakangas with the disc for Sweden. No one on him yet. Taps it into the ground. No doubt looking for their big receiver still. Oh, but they couple pass, just chip their way in. Easy going for the Swedes. That's number 19 on the goal, Eric Dahlberg. Swedes go up again, 5-4, dictating the pace of this game. Disc is in. Japanese pick up the pull. Kichikawa, high release backhand. Maybe just a possession huck there. Punt and pin, maybe the option for the Japanese. Not sure if it's the wisest play while they're trailing the chase, but they put it down there nonetheless. If they do get a turnover, they'll have me eat my words. And Jackson, the Swedes, put it the other way. 11 puts it up. Number 8 able to get there, having a big game. He is. That's Sebastian Spodong. He pulled down the big one. Number 1 now with the disc to Sweden. Has a look. Puts the flick across. Gets his man, number 11 there. Cracks it in. The Swedes break again. Upwinder. That's number 10 with the goal for Sweden. Johan Biden, puts the Swedes up to a 6-4 lead, and they're really dictating the pace of this game now, having the wind at their back for the next point. Pull goes straight out of bounds. Tanaka gets the disc to the spot, puts it back to Kichikawa. Now 29 with the disc for Japan. That's Sasakawa. Moves it on. Kurono now. They're Japanese going backwards a little bit in this wind. Moves it to Kichikawa. Oh, that one gets away. And the Swedes are too big. They're taking care of all the business in the air. Their game plan, if that was their game plan, it is certainly working. But then a big one gets away and Kichikawa collects. That's fine as far as the Swedes are concerned. I suppose an uncontested throwaway to the turf, and now Sweden picks up the disc with 5 meters to go, center of the field. Sweden looking to score here. This would be huge. 22 far sideline. Working, looking for an option, wants to get one in the end zone. He finds number 23 in the end zone. Sweden up 7-4 over the Japanese. This is a shocker in the making if Japan cannot pull out a big one in the wind to end this game. And Sweden up 7-4, 3-point buffer. No one would have expected this. Yesterday, talking to some members of the Japanese team, already talking about the imminent matchup between Japan, Australia in the semi, assuming both would get through, maybe not assuming that the conditions would nullify the higher skill sets probably that the Japanese have and the Australians. But in both these games, as you see on the field next to us, the Australians have drawn the Brits, and the Brits are dictating the pace in that one with a 3-2 lead. But this one, just that much more shocking in the early going. Tanaka now with the disc, as Japan just been perfect, scintillating offense over the course of the week. And now the Swedes, who have finished second in pool play to Australia, had a few crossovers. In their late crossover, they lost to Germany, as we see 17 catch a goal for Japan. That's Saseshima, put it up to a 2-point game, and Japan back on the board there. Big goal. I'm sure they're stoked to get that after the way this has started. Furuzawa set to pull for the Japanese. Swedes put their hand up. They're ready to receive. Disc falls to about half. That's again an indication of this win. These are world-class pullers, world-class athletes, world-class ultimate players, and putting full wind-up pulls not even to halfway is an indication of what they're working against. And the Swedes put it up straight away. 17 is there. He was huge. He got up, but unfortunately that went off the wrists instead of the center of his hands there. He read it reasonably well, even with 2 Japanese defenders, but couldn't get his hands shut. Number 1 1 walks the disc up for Japan. That's another Tanaka. Moves it to Tanaka. There's 2 Tanakas out there. Wonder if there's any relation between the 2 of them. Regardless, Kurono with the disc. Faking. Swedes in his zone. Fakes the big one. Puts the hammer across. It goes right through 13. Not able to hang on. The Swedish zone is causing all sorts of trouble when the Japanese have to fight not only the limited short space or the limited space for the short throws, but also this wind on the big ones. And the Swedes face it there too, but Johnny on the spot, number 19 for Swedes, able to pick up the trash. And the Swedes score again. That's number 1 for Sweden. The old Horberg, who puts one in. 8 now for Sweden. 5 Japan. 3-point game. Getting close to half. Pull's gone up from the Swedes. Lands at about half. Japan picking up the disc. Again, 8-5 to Sweden. No one would have suspected this, except maybe the Swedes. Obviously, their confidence high enough if they're putting this one on in the early going. Kichikawa now with the disc. He moves it on to 29 for Japan. He pops one over to Tanaka. Tanaka now with the disc on his own sideline. Equipment malfunction there by the Swedish player, number 11, as his knee wrap comes undone. Gets it off to his teammate. Tanaka with the disc. Disc is in. Fakes the hammer, gives the hammer, has a man. Matsuno holds on to a beautiful hammer. Wow. We'll have to have another look at that one. Tanaka from the close sideline fires a hammer. Caught by Matsuno. It's a 2-point game. Swedes will receive to take half. Japan set to pull. Close side, that's Sasakawa. Puts one up. Beautiful pull. That's the best pull we've seen that direction. Gets down to about 10 meters out of the Swedish end zone. Number 9, look to jacket. He does jacket. He puts up a big flick. He's got number 8 there. Matsuno steps in front. Great defense by Matsuno. Probably 8 to 10 inches shorter than the Swedish opposition there, and still able to get in front and above. And he calls a timeout. That's Matsuno now with the disc. Coming back in after halftime. Or not halftime, sorry, timeout. It's early morning here in Sakai. Been low on sleep. Japanese throw it away on the first throw after coming in. No call. All smiles still on the face of Matsuno after throwing that away. He must not be worried. Number 9 shakes, bakes, delivers, but there's a call there. A bit of a push off. I love the way the Japanese body language articulates these calls. Number 9 for Sweden has it tapped back in again. Engages his dump. Number 8 back to number 9. He's taking a look. 8 again on the far sideline. He pivots and a foul called. That's Sporong with the disc. Finds a spot. The Swedes take half, gets it in to Dahlberg. That's Sporong to Dahlberg. 9 for Sweden, 6 for Japan. A shocking turn of events that nobody, like I said, nobody would have expected this, but the Swedes getting her done. And second half starts with the Swedish pull, sailing down to the Japanese half where Tanaka picks it up. Now Sasakawa. Kurono with the disc. to Kichikawa. Sasakawa flicks it out to Tanaka. Keeps a nice low beauty. Over to Kurono. He moves it to Tanaka, far side now. Puts a big flick up. Has Matsuno there, and he reads it beautifully. Steps in front of the Swedish defender, does Matsuno. Japan strikes first in the second half on their first possession. 7-9, still the Swedes. Sasakawa puts the pull up. Another nice pull in this weather. Lands on the close sideline right under our cameras where the Swedish handler picks it up. Let's Teller with the disc, fakes the big, gives the big OI flick. 8 is in the area. Wow, what a grab by number 8. Moves it on. Swedes strike back again. Not afraid to put it and are getting away with the benefit of a lot of these big jacks. 10-7 Sweden. Number 8 for Sweden. Sebastian Sportong puts up a big pull. Moved forward to Kichikawa. Now Tanaka with the disc. Tanaka gets one up line to Matsuno. He's got 17 in the middle of the field now. Looks for Kurono. Looks for Matsuno. Gets Matsuno. Now a flick goes up. Kurono there. Swedish defender. Clips a heel. No call by Kurono. I think it was out of reach regardless. Sweden did good to eliminate that option. Now they set back on O. Trying to go upwind, and they're not afraid to jack it. They like their receivers. They like the float that goes up, and the Swedish hand gets on it again. Their game plan working to perfection. And Sweden gets another break, another upwind point. It's 11-7. That's a 4-point game. Almost 70 minutes in, the Japanese can't find answers to these giant Swedish receivers. Oh, and my commentary woes go on there. My ankle didn't quite see the drop in that. I saw a hand get on it. I thought it squeezed, but it must have squirted out there somehow. Anyhow, Japan does get their way. Tanaka walks it up, moves it on. Kichikawa puts a big one. He's got a few down there, but it's number 8 for Sweden. Sebastian Sportong having a huge game for the Swedes. Looks for a backhand. Oh, his man slipped, and Japan now 5 meters out. Matsuno goes down dramatically. 22 from Sweden with the foul. That's Patrick Sundqvist. And we're back in play, Matsuno. Oh, little elbow to the eye there. Nose. Sundqvist wincing. Trying to get his vision cleared. Matsuno apologetic. Discussion seems finished. And they're ready to play. Tapped in for Matsuno. All the attention goes with Kurono, and he has 17 just standing there waiting. Matsuno puts it in to Samishima for the goal. It's 8-10 rather. Let's get that scoreboard sorted out for Sweden. So 2-point game rather than 4. Much favorable for the Japanese. Japanese set to pull. Sasakawa put it up. Floats down just past half. Swedes pick up the disc. I would not be at all surprised to see a huck. Moto Haki coming out of one of their chief handlers, number 9 here. He fakes the big one, puts the big one. A high release backhand. Has a few big bodies there. Japanese body gets in the way. That's 97 who got the D. And then Sasakawa walks it up to the line. Moves across 97 now, 19 far side for Japan. Flicks a backhand, push past, dump. Sasakawa puts a hammer in the wind, dangerous. Swedes maggot. They get it down, foul on the throw. Fingertip tap. Going back to Sasakawa. A very risky throw what he tried putting up there in this wind. Thankful for him, there was a touch. He gets it back, he fakes it again. Now he puts a big one up. Number 8 in that neighborhood. Always seems the most dangerous threat. And not a good option if that's what the Japanese have to resort to right now. Teller taking his time, walks to the disc, puts it into play. Puts a scoop over top, has 17. 17. Oh! I'm not sure from this angle whether that stayed up or not. The Swedes certainly think that it did for a goal. Japanese say it hit the ground. Reenactment happening now by Sasakawa. I think best case scenario is it's going to go back to the throw. And it does. 17 with the disc. Anders fakes the hammer over top and again. Then looks to go up line. Now puts the hammer. Has number 8 in the back corner. Great catch. Again, another. The Japanese man points out the Swedes celebrate the goal. And it looks like they're getting it now. It's 11-8 for Sweden. Upset City in the making. 75 minutes into this game. Swedish number 11 sets a pull. Parmatsson waiting for a hand. Now he's got it. Again, can't stress enough that you can see by the uniforms how much this wind is blowing. 11 puts up a great pull in this weather. Blades down, hits the turf. Tanaka fakes the big, gets it to Kichikawa. Now Sasakawa with the disc, close sideline. Dump Kichikawa. Back to Sasakawa. Through the middle with a bid. Kichikawa gets a 17 wound up. Opts to put it back to Tanaka. Now Kichikawa with the disc, fakes the flick, puts one over top. Beautiful throw again in this wind. Now Matsuno upfield has it. 2 meters out of the end zone. Fakes the backhand. Looks for something, goes for the dump, takes Tanaka. Now Kichikawa with the disc, center of the field. Looking for the flick. Looking hard, gets Tanaka with the disc, backhand across. Kichikawa puts it in the corner. 17, holds his ground. Samishima with the goal for Japan. It's back to a 2-point game. 9-11, still in favor of the Swedes. Pull hits the ground, rolls back towards Japan. Swedes really taking their time. Teller walks to the disc. Japanese. Teller flicks again, 8 in the end zone. All day long, they're happy to try that. Now they've got Japan in their territory, fighting upwind. Japan's got to get one of these now to get back in this game. Tanaka now with the disc, walking it up. Swedes with a very familiar zone. Sebastian Sporong at the back. A very huge defender and receiver for the Swedes. He's the man you want in the air. Tanaka now moves it over to Kichikawa. Kichikawa gets one up line to Samishima. He jacks one. Has 97. Oh! And Sebastian Sporong having the game of his life here. Gets a huge bid. The Japanese receiver had position. It was a beautiful put upwind. But the Swedes able to generate the turn, and here comes Teller. Let's see if he puts it the other way. He's got 19 and his favorite receiver, number 8, downfield. Now they do jack it. 8 there, able Sporong again gets it to number 7. 3 meters out now, far sideline. Puts a flick in, has 19. Swedes able to dictate the pace of this one. That's Eric Dahlberg with the goal. 12-9 Sweden. Swedes, pull lands, Japanese walking to it. Still a 3-point favor for the Swedes. Tanaka puts it. And Sporong, the difference maker, Sebastian Sporong, is very surely going to get the player of the game if Sweden goes on to win this. He has had touches on so many Ds. He's had grabs in both ends of the field, massive ones coming from puts mostly from Teller. Now number 1 puts the disc, moves it to Sporong. He's got it. Back to number 1 for the Swedes on their own sideline, fighting upwind. This would be a huge point for Sweden, but that one goes down. Now Matsuno picks it up. Backhand over top to Kichikawa. Japan responds, keeps it to within 2. 12-10, Sweden. Sasakawa puts the pull up. Hits the ground. Teller going to put it. Tries the flick. Now gets it to 3. I thought for sure he was going to put it. It is an option that's worked so good for them. Now 17 with the disc. He puts it. Sporong with the disc. 7 meters out. Fakes the backhand. Returns it to 6. No one on. All the defenders in the end zone playing a poachy man. Sporong puts an OI backhand out, has a man there. What a grab! Number 7 with the disc for Sweden. Puts it up, 17 now, a meter out, a bit of contact playing through it, just wants to throw. 17. A lot of bodies around the disc there. Both sides, Japanese crowding, can't get a throw off. Now looking to dump, not able to dump. Gets the 1 foot past the Teller, who throws most of the goals, catches that one. 13-10 Sweden, 84 minutes. Swedes with the pull up. Japan looking for answers here late in the game. 15 minutes to go. This is an elimination game, quarterfinals. Tanaka to Kichikawa. Kichikawa fakes the flick. Foul of the play there. Kichikawa picks the disc back up. Swedes with a very familiar zone in this wind. Get one up to Matsuno, who drops it on the far sideline. Sweden now with a chance to go upwind. Let's see if they put a big floaty one again. Trying to use that height to their advantage as much as possible. Both teams still with 2 timeouts. So you'd have to imagine Sweden's going to start using those soon to have some time expired. 23 goes up for that. Foul on the throw. Sorry, to a Swedish disc. Number 1 for Sweden with the disc. Tanaka on the mark. That's Joel Horberg. Fakes flick, gives flick, centers, 17 now. 17 and also a very big unit. Horberg knocked down by Tanaka's D, gets straight back up, just wants to play. Disc is in. Gives the flick. Anders flicks for a big one. Swedish defender. Oh, he had it. He read it off his hand. That could have been all but sealed, even though it's still looking very advantageous for the Swedes. That could have sealed the deal. Japanese send it the other way. Great grab by 11 to keep it on. Tanaka now moves it over the shoulder. 17 with the disc, far sideline, pivots. Couple men on there, maybe a double team, but moves it to Kurono. Back to 17. Disc is Just about to be tapped back in. A little bit more discussion. Now we're still, no. It's not ready yet. Tapped back in. 17 puts the pop pass to Corona on the far sideline. He has a look, fakes his flick. Very fluid movement out of Corona when he's got that disc. Foul upfield there, contact. Between 10 for Sweden and 11 for Japan. Now Kudono again with a mounting stall count, puts a flick through, has his man. 17 for Japan with the goal. That's Samishima. It's 11 now for Japan, 13 for Sweden. 2-point game, 12 minutes, less than 12 to play. And Japanese pull, hits the ground, rolls out of bounds. Sweden, number 9. Teller picks the disc up, or has it walk to him, in fact. He's used to just jacking it. He works hard for it. Now puts an OI backhand. Has 2 big men in the end zone. Sporong holds on to another number 8 for Sweden. Remember that name, remember that number. He's doing a lot of damage. The Japanese will surely remember number 8 if this game goes down the way it looks like it's going to be and they get eliminated by the Swedes because of a big hucking game in the big wind by a big man. And Sweden puts a pull up. Another short pull. We're used to those going this way. Tanaka walks his way to the disc. Kichikawa, Sasakawa flank. Kurono. That's Kichikawa now with the disc. Sasakawa moves it to Kurono. Kurono looks for his backhand. Delivers to Sasakawa. Kurono again puts a hammer up, has a man there. No problem for number 11. He's got room. Doesn't have receivers upfield quite yet. Now he does. Dumps to Sasakawa. Centering to Kurono. Back to Sasakawa. Look to put it over top. The defense was good. Kurono now with the disc. Foul on the play. Ready to tap back in, and it's in. Kurono shakes. Dumps to Matsuno. Matsuno with the disc, puts it over top to Kurono. It's a bit too far. Can't get there. Sweden picks up. Moves it to 22. Over to number 1. He puts one up with as much on it as he can. Gets about 20 meters in this one. Now puts it back to 11. 11's got 2 there. Oh, 23 through his hands. Number 8 was continuing on for the sure goal had he got it. But now the Japanese go the other way. Put a big one up. We've got a man. Japan goal, number 11. Back to a 2-point game. It's 12-14 in favor of the Swedes. 8 minutes to go. Kurono with the disc. Oh, sorry, knocks down the disc. Make sure it doesn't roll back. Teller walks to pick it up. Just chatting on the sideline about this game. Some people have just joined us. Got myself into a bit of confusion. This game is amazing. Big hammer. Teller puts it up. Sonong grabs another one. Unbelievable. That man is doing absolutely everything. Falling away. Picks up a hammer with velocity from the wind. It's 15-12 for the Swedes. Not much time to go. About 5 minutes to spare. Just more. Sweden by 3. Things could not be going more at Sweden's way, and Japan just cannot find answers for the big game that Sweden's giving them. And the pull goes up. Going out of bounds the other side. Japan will bring it in at the brick. Tanaka walking over to the disc. There's just about 5 minutes to go in this game. The Swedes have been putting a lot of puts. Number 8 has been dominant in this game. not many answers they found for him. With not much time to go, it would take a miraculous finish by the Japanese to get themselves out of trouble here. Everybody with high expectations for the Japanese, themselves included, their fans, most of the spectating public here at Worlds, after seeing Japan cruise through the round robins, touching up Canada. Oh, a end-over-end flutter pass there to Tanaka, but kept alive. Kichikawa now puts it over to Kurono. Has 17, fakes a big. Number 4 for Sweden, steps in front. It's back to Sasakawa. He moves it to Tanaka. Sasakawa again. Swedish zone moving feverishly. Tanaka gives it to 17 in the middle. Moves it up line. Has Kurono. Just through a bit of space there. 17 again. Has a look. Kurono. Kichikawa. Tanaka now. Looking for it. Puts a push pass to Kichikawa. Flicks one up. 11's got it. Meters away. Tanaka fakes the backhand. Fakes again. No one on him as he dumps it back to Kichikawa. Now moves it to Tanaka. Gets it to Kurono. Strip called. Conceded goal. That's 13 now for Japan. 2 away. About 3 minutes to go approximately. It looks like big trouble for the Japanese. I don't think there's many options for them to dig themselves out of this one now. We'll soon find out, but Sweden pulling all the momentum late in this game, 15-13. Here we are. Sasakawa winds up, ready to pull. Japanese with their last hopes in these last few points. It's a game to 17, time no longer an issue. Time cap's gone. Add 2 to the 15 that Sweden currently has, and that's what our game's going to, so 17 as per normal. Teller walks to the disc. He's been masterful getting some floaty hucks out today. In this win, upwind mostly, now again, an OI backhand. Sportong there, doesn't read it, almost had the backup though. Japan with a chance. They're going to need to do what they haven't done in some time and move it up this punishing wind. The length of the field proper to get themselves the goal if they want any chance to steal this game. Tanaka walks the disc back up. Like we said, Japan hasn't been able to score an upwind point in quite some time now, and if ever there's going to be a time to do it, it's now. There's a Japanese fan base gathered at that end that would erupt if they were able, but for now they're in their end zone about 70 meters away from that goal. Kichikawa and Sasakawa doing some work together. Tanaka now in that corner. Every pass is dangerous in this wind. That Swedish zone closing down. They've moved it right onto the sideline now. Faking for hammer. Giving a hammer. Over top. Too much on it by Kichikawa. Running out of options. High stall counts. Nothing through the cup. No easy passes up line. Everything has got to be perfection. Going upwind if it's going to come off, or the wind is going to generate the D for the opposition. Now, Sebastian Sportong with the disc, man of the match thus far, gives it to Teller. Teller having a look, wants to get it back to Sportong. Not able to. Teller with the disc. Looks, puts a flick, OI. Defense comes through, Matsuno. Big player making a big play there. Now flick goes up, Sportong there. Goes through the man, gets the D. No call on the play by Takahashi. Sportong doing it all. Sportong even goes to check with Takahashi. Sportong again, that's what the Swedes want, is that floaty business for their big tall men to get under either on O or D. Japan now desperate for a D. They would have liked that one, but that's going to be a foul. Teller has the disc tapped in by Tanaka. Here we are. He's got, we wouldn't be surprised to see him put a big one. Puts a one across field. 7 there for Sweden. Collects it. Moves it on to 17. 17 fakes a couple of backhand jabs. Now puts one back to 6. Who moves it right along to 3. Picks one up by the dirt. 3 now to 6. Center of the field. 25 meters out. Fakes a big backhand. Gives a big backhand. Might be a bit too much. It's floaty. It's high. It's caught. Sweden. Game point. 16-13. This could be the upset of the tournament. Japan needs to find 4 in a row to win this game, or it's all Sweden's. Nobody scored more than 2 in a row, maybe since the early going. It would be an impossible feat, a miraculous comeback, but for now, we'll assume Sweden has stolen a massive game from the Japanese. We'll find out on the very next point. There we go. 11 puts a pull up for the Swedes. Game point for them. They're 1 away. Maybe not expected to do it on this one in the upwind, but if they concede and then get the disc with the wind at their back, they'll have a masterful option. Obviously, they wouldn't mind scoring it upwind to end it. I wouldn't predict that one happening, but the Japanese just need to score. Oh my goodness, first pass gets away. As though the Japanese are really feeling the pressure. Maybe they've lost their confidence. It's not been going their way today here in Japan. The home field advantage has not been advantageous to them. 17 puts a big one. As the receiver not able to get his feet and skids away. Disc flying onto the other field, almost crossing the other field. It is crossing the other field. Wow. That thing caught some legs with the wind under it. And we'll have to wait for it to be run back by an off-field player for Japan. Undoubtedly will be Tanaka who puts it into play for Japan. As mentioned, game point for Sweden. Japan with a mountain to climb if they're going to retain seed, if they're going to make it to the semis, if they're going to be able to play for the gold medal here in Japan. They need to get 4 in a row through Sweden, which has proved impossible thus far. Tanaka winds up for a big one and ends up falling into number 11, who he calls a foul upon. They have a quick discussion. This one is only going to end with Tanaka having the disc. As it does, 11 taps it back in. Sweden, the Canadians and Americans, whoever's up next, Australians will be taking note of what happens here. What the Swedes had done to beat the Japanese, they'll try to avoid having happen to them, but it's really a massive mismatching in the air. Kichikawa puts a big one. He's got Matsuno. Matsuno bids, but not able to get a hand on it as it floats out of bounds. Sweden now disc in hand on game point. An upwinder. Not a sure thing by any stretch with this wind gusting very heavily. She's in, 11, winds up, doesn't give it. Gets it across, tries to get it across to 22, not able to. Japan with a chance to extend it another point again. Lots of pressure, every throw, every touch now, big pressure. Tanaka readjusts his hat, walks to the disc, has a look at what his offense has got set for him. Mashi, I heard out of him, that must be number 10, Mashimaru Matsuno. But Kurono cuts, he puts it up top, he's got Kurono, great pass. Tanaka with maybe a finger in the eye walks away, wincing. Japan on the board. 14-16 now. Sweden a chance to receive a pull with this massive wind at their back. Able to take this game away. Again, what would be a massive upset by the Swedes. Japanese Sasakawa with the disc as the Japanese crew comes off the field. A massive task ahead of them, or they will be done for this tournament. They need to score 3 in a row, starting with a pull upwind. So they'll need to get a D and then score upwind, which they haven't been able to do, period. Also, the Swedish attack has been able to score at will when they put it deep. And Teller here has been the man who puts it deep, and he's done it again. Sebastian Sporton can't read that one. A trailing man on the layout. Japan still with a bit of life. Call on the play. Japanese supporters not happy about it. Sweden would be the story of the tournament if they pull this off. No one was expecting it, not the Japanese, not any of the other semi-finalists. Everybody, especially after that win against Canada, expecting the Japanese to cruise at least into the semi-finals. Tanaka taps it in. Teller puts one over top, has 7. 7-17, that's Anders. Fakes the backhand, gives it to Teller again. He puts a hammer, he has Sportong. Sportong holds on to that disc. Sweden with the biggest upset of this tournament, going to the semifinals. Beat the tournament favorites, Japan, reeling, heads hanging, can't even understand what's happened. Sweden have used these conditions to their favor, have stolen a game, have played the big huck game and taken things out of the air. The Swedes are going to the semis to play whoever wins in Australia and Great Britain on the field next door that it looks like the Aussies have to win. That's all for this game. A massive upset. The Swedes knock off the hometown Japanese. Stefan Rapazzo signing off for ulti.TV.